up, VSU?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. We're going live, man. Going live. We've been talking about this for a while. It's about time we go get it, man.
Yep, for sure.
So, for those of you who don't know, Julie King, one of the members of our illustrious online Madden Winter War and FTC. We run 2 separate leagues. Been doing this for a little bit. Want to have an organized platform of professionals. We have an online league. In our community, we have about 64 PMs that we kind of associate with. We can kind of extend out to like maybe 120 some DMs in the community of online Madden. So, I have my co-host, co-commissioner on deck as well. I get this.
Yeah, VSU FAL. As you see, the VSU is not for anything but Virginia State University. But as he was saying, I joined the league in one of the leagues in FTC, and that's how we got associated with each other through that. And then it just grew from there to branch out to a league that the VA already had set up. He started, and so ever since then we just been kind of bouncing stuff off each other until we decided. So he was like, "Hey, why don't you just come on and become a commissioner over there, like you were in the FTC?"
So true. So true. And as we got started, I think with FTC, I'll kind of let everyone know FTC.
Hit your mic. Yeah, it's still not on yet. Check it out and see. Yeah, it still hasn't come up yet.
There we go.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna plug this in. Everybody's been laughing at me. Our first time doing this. It's okay. You hear me now?
Yeah.
What was the last thing I was at? Okay, the history of FTC. So FTC, it was more so starting in year 2000 when I got on board. I was learning how to play online Madden. I thought I was a good Madden player, and I got in the FTC and was getting killed like every game. Like the first few seasons, I think I had a collective of like maybe in seasons like 5, and folks was just teeing off on me. FTC was an organized league. I think initially started out. One of the founders, he literally had a message board, and that's how we would learn to communicate before the online, what we have present day. A lot of these guys understand they didn't have these platforms back when we were playing in 2000, but he had a message board platform that allowed everyone to be able to schedule their games appropriately. And you're right, that's we met each other in that league, and I think I got on the board in that league halfway through. I think maybe 2012, 2014, I kind of got on the board with FTC as a commissioner, was helping run the league. But do you have any insights on? I know there's a few good users that were in that league, by the way. They kind of came and went.
Maybe some of the guys who was in there when I started.
Yeah. Because I'm still uncertain who was in there first, you or me.
That's a good question. I don't. We would probably have to. I got somebody I can check with to find that out. But my experience starting was probably worse than yours because I wasn't even playing. I was playing the college football game. I didn't even mess with Madden since probably like 99 to 95, 96, 97 or something when college football came out. So yeah, I was getting slaughtered. I used to holler at the owner was like, man, what kind of rules you got in here, man? You letting these guys just destroy it. So I had to just suck it up and deal with it. But I remember Schoolie was there early on. No Moss was there. That was one of the guys I used to always get killed. That guy there, boy.
He was a bully. He was on the same play back to back. He didn't talk trash to you. But those were some hard dudes. But that was FTC back then. I like that league. For the crown, good league, good users, good competition. You avoid cheating, right? And then Winter Wars. I think that was special to me because in Winter Wars, I was part of another league that I'm not even going to mention. I kind of started out because in the online games, the first time being a commissioner was with coworkers. I did a Madden tournament in my condo. This is my coworkers. It was an all-day tournament on Saturday. They came through at like 8 in the morning, grabbed breakfast and coffee, we ordered pizza, and we ended up at a bar at the Wrestling Town Center. After playing like Madden, they had like 3 TVs set up. But then the Winter Wars was more perfect for me because the Winter Wars, I came on board in this league. It was like 8 guys. And some of the guys I still kind of kept back to back. One of the guys in particular, I'm going to give Miss Flowers. His name's Black Vel. And Vel, he's a very, I'm going to say, interesting brother. Very intelligent. One of those guys, you got to be careful when you talk to him, but he's actually, if he was a cop, he would probably be the best cop because he has a way of asking questions to get to a resolution, right? By asking the right questions. And so he started, he was in the league, and I came on board the league, and I saw a few things I thought could be tweaked. And so they kind of liked what I was saying. So the guys on the league said, well, look, I'll make you the commissioner. You run the league because you have this experience. And I've been in a lot of bad leagues, good leagues. And I kind of felt like there's this template, quote one of my guys from Winter Wars, a playbook. So there's a playbook that I do have that I'll about to help the leagues. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But we came to Winter Wars, so 8 guys. In that league, Guy Tang, our favorite friend, he was in that league, and a few other guys that was in the league. When I started this league, I actually started this league with no rules. So Winter Wars, there was no rules in Winter Wars. So a few of my friends were like, man, you gotta have rules, man. You gotta have rules. I'm like, why? If you recruit properly and you get guys who kind of have the same philosophies about playing online Madden, you typically will avoid the cheese. And you don't like cheese, right? So the cheese is like run the same plays back to back, the money plays. And so the first season there was no rules. Because we don't need rules, right? It's kind of like when you play spades. No talking across the board is no talking across the board. That's a universal rule. You don't talk across the board. Once that card hits the table, you ain't picking it back up. No, that's a universal rule. You know what I mean? So when we come to spades, there's universal rules. So I think the first season, I didn't do rules. But then eventually I started to add rules because certain people were taking advantage of the lack of. And so you need rules to keep everybody honest. So there is no, I didn't know I couldn't do that. So we came with our rules. Our rules are very universal, very easy. It's a standard kind of sort, right? But we'll talk about that later. But the rules kind of like helped us stay in order. And I think when I look at the people who start out in the league, and then eventually I brought you on because I needed some help. I'm like, look, I got a good league over here, some people. Because my first commissioners, besides just me, I brought on my man Mastermind. I brought on my man Tang. And then I brought on Country Mo. And I brought on Big Murph. And then eventually, when the kids showed up, I brought the kid on as well. But when I first started the Winter Wars, right, I think the first couple years was just me, and then eventually as it started to expand, I went from a league of 8 to like 16. Then we started hitting like a 24 number, and that was like the third year.
Right.
And then no, that was like the second year. By the third year of running this league, it was straightforward. I had 32 GMs consistent, and and now we've been running for like 10 years. Started in 2015 when I started Winter Wars, and it's been running strong ever since. So now I feel like, hey, since we've been running this league pretty strong, and we run, we're in FTC doing the exact same thing, exact same playbook, same rules, same philosophies, and now we got 2 strong leagues with 32 GMs in both leagues. We typically have a nice little wait list, and that wait list is guys who basically kind of play. They want to play professional ball. There's no cursing, we use Discord to communicate to our platform. We talk as professionals. We're not like in the schoolyard cussing anybody out, grabbing nuts, and giving the middle finger and whatnot. You know what I mean? Even though there are those conversations that go there a few times, we kind of we have to clean up. But I don't know. So that's kind of like the history of, I think, when you think about FTC and Winter Wars. We had a lot of great GMs that have come and gone, and I think what we have now is a good fold of people that we've been rolling with for a little while. Especially when I look at the GMs we have in Winter Wars currently, right? Basically just looking over my shoulder, just gonna turn over here. Like, we got some good GMs over here that are quality, that have been playing the league for a while. And being this is our 10th year, I got to give a shout out to those who've been around from day one. That's going to be Mastermind, Mo, Tang, you, Milo, Agent Nick, and then No Moms. And then your Midnight, right? Yeah. And then we brought on Dorothy, Chuck, Scooty, the kid, then Florida Boy came, then Florida came, then C-Note, and then Tiger, 8911. That dude's been around in like a few leagues we were in, especially with a few leagues we were in the past. But I don't know, it's good to say, you have good fresh breath of air of running some good leagues, man. But I gotta thank you though for the for a lot of help that you give me. Give you a nice little round of applause, but thank you, man, for you. I know this league has been challenging sometimes when you think about running a league.
Yeah, not different personalities to deal with, and of course we have some of the same personalities in both, so you tend to know what to expect out of certain people on both sides of it.
But think about that. How do you manage that? I mean, with your, I know my stuff. What do you do to manage that? What do you lead?
I don't pay attention to the bullshit. That's pretty much it. Like, if they've been in the league long, they know what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna say it. So they already know. All right. So if we talk to him, he gonna check on it and see what he can get done about it. Instead of just saying he's gonna do something and not do nothing. Well, I try to call it down the middle, even if it's to a detriment to my record in a particular season game or something. I won't. I'll just take the L just because I gotta try to do something different than what everybody else is doing.
Gotcha.
As far as the GMs, so they'll be like, all right, well, we know if it comes down to it, he'll sacrifice for the greater good.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. But look, I'm gonna get to this topic when you're ready to sign off. Thank you for helping run the league.
Yeah, man.
To my other commissioners that we have in this league as well, Country Mo, Big Murph, Mastermind, Kid, Nick. Thank you. Couldn't do this without you guys. As you know, this is the kickoff of our official Winter Wars family podcast. So we're gonna start putting out on a weekly basis content of the league and what we do in the league, and the outcomes of the league, right? And so stay tuned to our next podcast. We're going to break down Winter Wars, year season 1 and season 2 playoff teams. And we're going to also do another podcast. We're going to break off and do FTC separately, right? So we're going to talk about FTC year 1 as well as the current season and our predictions of who we think is going to win the Super Bowl. So we're out. I'm going to say thank you for joining this league. And let's just keep doing what we do. And see y'all later, man.
Yeah, man. Later.